What happens if every single bomb goes off?
That's the number. Over 12,000 active nuclear warheads in the world today.
Power for total annihilation is spread all across the globe.
A period of absolutely unimaginable fire and fury.
All right, let's dive into a scenario that, honestly, pushes the limits of our darkest fears. We're going to explore, using cold, hard science, what would actually happen if every single nuclear weapon on Earth was launched all at once.
And I'm not talking about a war or some kind of limited strategic exchange. No, we're asking what happens if every single bomb goes off. It is the ultimate hypothetical, and let me tell you, the science behind the answer is both fascinating and absolutely chilling.
To even start to wrap our heads around a cataclysm this big, we first have to understand the arsenal. Humanity is basically sitting on a planetary time bomb, a whole collection of sleeping giants just waiting for a command. That's the number. Over 12,000 active nuclear warheads in the world today. Just think about that for a second. It is a staggering figure, and each one of those weapons is capable of devastation on a scale that's what's genuinely hard to comprehend.
And you know, this isn't a problem that's just confined to one or two nations. The power for total annihilation is spread all across the globe, held by multiple countries in hidden silos, deep-sea submarines, and strategic bombers.
So, in our scenario, the moment arrives. Alerts are screaming across command centers worldwide. For whatever reason, every launch sequence begins. And within minutes, the sky is just filled with these arcs of our own self-destruction.
Okay, so what actually happens inside one of these weapons? Because it's not just a big explosion. It's a fundamental manipulation of the fabric of the universe. It's all about unleashing the power that's locked deep inside the atom itself.
So the basic principle for a lot of these weapons is something called nuclear fission, which is just the act of splitting an atom. But when you do that, you don't just get two smaller pieces, you get a release of energy so immense it completely dwarfs any conventional explosive ever created.
But here's where the real destructive power comes from. It's the chain reaction. See, one split atom releases neutrons that then go on to strike and split other atoms, which in turn release more neutrons. This cascade happens in a fraction of a second, creating this exponential, runaway release of energy. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it does. The next step up is the fusion bomb, or H-bomb. This thing uses an initial fission blast just to trigger an even more powerful fusion reaction. We're literally creating a small temporary star right here on Earth. This is the power that forged the elements in the cosmos turned against us. So, with the science down, let's get back to our timeline. The missiles have reached their targets. The first hour would be, well, an apocalypse and fast forward. A period of absolutely unimaginable fire and fury.
Major cities, military bases, industrial centers across the entire globe are just vaporized in moments. We are talking about the instant death of billions of people, not in a war, but in a single, coordinated planetary event.
And the destruction is coming from all sides. It's not just the blast. You've got fireballs creating continent-sized firestorms, shockwaves that level everything from miles and miles, ocean impacts triggering massive tsunamis, and an invisible, deadly wave of radiation.
Now, if you somehow, by some miracle, survived that first hour, the horror is far from over. In fact, you could say the deadliest phase is just beginning. We now enter the long, slow collapse known as nuclear winter.
See those immense firestorms from thousands of burning cities? They would kick trillions of tons of soot and ash high up into the atmosphere. Within just a few weeks, that cloud spreads, blanketing the entire planet and just blocking out the sun. The world is plunged into a perpetual, freezing twilight.
The result is a catastrophic drop in the global average temperature. We're talking potentially 30 degrees Celsius. That is a plunge far deeper and far faster than any ice age in history. The planet's entire climate system would be completely and utterly broken.
And this just highlights the terrible irony of it all, doesn't it? We've always looked to the skies for some external threat, like an asteroid. But in this scenario, we engineered the exact same extinction level event ourselves. We become the meteor.
And beyond the cold and the dark, the very chemistry of the planet would be fundamentally altered. Any survivors would inherit a world that is actively hostile to life as we know it.
It's a total cascade of failure. With the sun blocked, photosynthesis just stops. That means global crop failure and mass famine. The fallout would acidify the oceans, killing off marine ecosystems. The planet's protective ozone layer, it'd be shredded.
Any tiny sliver of sunlight that might eventually get through would be packed with lethal UV radiation. It's a complete collapse of the biosphere.
So, after exploring all that devastating science, let's turn to a more philosophical question. What if this catastrophic event wasn't simply the result of human conflict? What if it spoke to some deeper, cosmic pattern?
This is where our thought experiment gets a little weird. Could an event to this magnitude be more than just a colossal failure of human reason? Could it maybe represent a universal challenge that all intelligent life must eventually face?
There's actually a name for this idea: the Great Filter. It's a theory that tries to explain why we haven't found any evidence of other intelligent life out there in the universe. It suggests that civilizations inevitably reach a point of technological power where they just destroy themselves. In this scenario, we'd just be another data point, another voice that went silent in the cosmos.
And that famous quote from Einstein just perfectly captures the outcome, doesn't it? An event like this wouldn't just end our civilization, it would reset it completely. Any survivors would be thrown back to the most primitive existence, with the knowledge of everything that was lost haunting them forever.
And so, we're left with this really profound question. Is self-destruction just an inevitable endpoint for any species that discovers this kind of power? Or can we, armed with the knowledge of these catastrophic consequences, actually choose a different path? The science is clear. The choice? Well, that's up to us.